Are you ready for this?
Today, I'm going to show you how to survive in 30-degree Fahrenheit camping weather and not freeze to death.
All right, let's set up this car real quick. Bed's made. Just to show you guys really quick, I have a fleece blanket that it's going to be pretty cold tonight, so I made sure to bring extra layers, and I actually have an additional blanket. So this sleeping bag goes down to negative 15 degrees Celsius, which is about 30 degrees Fahrenheit. So I am going to be cold tonight, but I have very tried and true ways that actually can keep you warm all the way down to 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Fleece blankets are the best. You can stay so warm when you have one of these. If you get a king size one, you can even double it up. And then underneath, I have this blanket that I got when I was in Lima, Peru, which is fabulous. It keeps you so warm because it's a llama. And then I have my sleeping bag, and then I have the pad underneath that will also help me retain heat. That's how I keep myself warm, along with some hot pads. Little four-wheeling visitor that stopped by. I always bring these hot pads with me, and I get the ones that are up to 10 hours. And what I do is if I get cold, and this actually saved me on my Mount Whitney hike in winter, which if you haven't read that article, I will link it down below. I have never been so cold. I think I started into hypothermia because my fingers actually started to turn blue to about here. So when I was on that Mount Whitney hike, I actually had these 10-hour hot hand warmers, and I put 2 in my armpits because you have some major arteries there. You also have some major arteries here, and then you have some in your groin, and those are the femoral arteries. And when you put heat right next to those arteries, it helps keep your body warm, and it warms it up a lot quicker. It's actually one of the things that they do in the emergency room when they try to warm people up, is they put a bear hugger on, and then they stick hot compresses in the armpits, in the groin, and then near the neck, as long as they don't have any airway issues. That's my tips and tricks for how to stay warm in the high Uintas when it is less than 30 degrees. So let's finish setting this car camp up, our little mini camper, and we'll go from there. All right, so I have got my car tent on the back here, and doesn't it look so freaking cozy inside? That's because it is. But then I sewed these together. I haven't finished all of the curtains yet, but to block out the light, I just have these little curtains, and then I will show you the inside with my sleeping arrangements. Hey everybody, so I just wanted to do a little bit more on how to stay warm in the high Uintas. Whenever you are out and you hike and then you come back and you're sweating, you always want to make sure that you have a good change of clothes that are dry. And it's really easy to have a dry change of clothes when you're in Utah, because it is a desert and everything, there's like 0 humidity, maybe 7%, maybe like 30% on a bad day, but most of the time it's like 7%. So people from down south or Florida or back east or California, they come out here and they get like bloody noses because it's so dry. So make sure you bring like nasal spray or something, and that will help with the bloody noses and keep that mucous membrane moist. A few more tips. You want to make sure you change into a dry set of clothes. Always make sure you put fresh socks on. Wool socks are the best because those are going to be breathable and not trap the moisture or the sweat in the sock. It's going to let it breathe. Like I mentioned before, the felt blankets. I have my heating pad here along with the battery, and then the hot pad. The places that you're going to lose heat when you're in the high Uintas or when you're camping are through the ground if you're in the tent, or through your head, heat coming off of your head, through hands, through feet, any place that has like a high level of blood vessels. That's why you always want to make sure that those are covered. And then you want to, before the sun sets all the way, get the fire put out, get into warm clothes, and then get in somewhere where you can start accumulating that heat like in a pocket. So those are a few of my tips. Good morning. The sun's starting to rise, so I'm gonna get up and do some photos. But I don't know if you can see this, but I was so warm last night. So were you, Zoe, huh? So were you. You're a good girl. Yeah. I was so warm last night, I was sweating. So I ended up kicking my covers off, and then I got cold, and then I get warm again after putting them back on. So it was a little bit of a battle, but it was good. But my glasses are starting to, I don't know if you can see that, they're like foggy because I was so warm. But I'm gonna do some, oh, the sun's starting to hit me, so I want to get out and do some photos. Are you ready to get up, huh? You're a good girl. We kept each other warm, huh? All right. Successful warm night.
Be sure to check out the channel, subscribe, and share with a friend. More the merrier, right? I've got tons of videos on camping and how to convert your SUV into a mini camper. Stay tuned because I've got a lot more trips on Utah and how to go camping even as a solo female traveler. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.